Alright, this video covers the past couple lessons in Chapter 4. It's Chapter 4, Lesson 2, Lesson 3. And the first one, 4-2, was about using addition and subtraction equations to solve word problems. And then today, for 4-3, we did multiplication and division. So we just broke it up into two lessons. So the first thing that we talked about to get us going is how do we relate addition and subtraction. So if we had a fact family, or not a fact family, but if we had 25, 20, and 5, what we can make out of that would be, of course, over in the red, that's the normal way that the kids normally see an equation, so 20 plus 5 equals 25. But what I talked a lot about with the kids is that another way you could write that is just to swap the sides of the equation. So you could say 25 first. So instead of saying 20 plus 5 equals 25, you could say 25 equals 20 plus 5. You're saying the exact same thing, but in just a different order. So that's why on the homework in the future for the remembering side, it might say to write 8 equations. What I told the kids to do is just write your 4 normal ones, the ones that you normally think of, and then just literally flip them, and then you'll get the other 4. So you could obviously do 5 plus 20 equals 25, 25 minus 5 equals 20, and then 25 minus 20 equals 5. For the fact family part with multiplication and division, obviously the red, once again, is the typical way that you would see the traditional fact family. 4 times 5 equals 20, 5 times 4 equals 20, and then do the division, 20 divided by 5 equals 4, and 20 divided by 4 equals 5. In the blue there, you'll see that it's just you literally just flip it. So 20 equals 4 times 5. So if you just write the answer first, and then tell me what that equals, then they're good to go for the rest of the equations. So we talked a lot about that and how that is going to help us. So if we're ever presented with a problem like this one, where it's 200 divided by n equals 40, what I could use is my fact family knowledge and understand that I could also think of this as 200 divided by 40 would equal n. So that way I can figure this out. Another fact family that I could do to solve is to go the other way and go 40 times n equals 200, and so on and so forth. So the kids, whatever way works best for them, they can do. So what I would probably do is, of course, is the 200 divided by 40 and approach it that way. So hopefully I can do this off to the side here. So I have 200 divided by 40, and just take the 0 off there. So it's going to be 20 divided by 4 is equal to 5. So therefore I know that n equals 5. So there's our algebra equation and our solution equation on the bottom there. So another way that we could do this is 8 times n equals 896. Now you can sit here all day and try to input numbers for n and try to get to 896. Good luck to you. You're going to be there forever. So that's why knowing your fact families is really important, because you could also see this as 896 divided by 8 is going to give me n. So now when I can just do the division problem, I can easily find n. So I say, okay, well, 8 will go into 800, 100. Subtract that, you're going to be left with 96, and then 8 can go into 90 by going 110, and that would be 80, and that will leave you with 16, and I'm out of space, but you can do the rest. 16 divided by 8 would be 2, and that would subtract 16 on the bottom there, and that would leave us with 0. Sorry, looks weird down there. And then your answer up here is 112. So therefore I know that n equals 112. Now we finally got to the equation parts and the story problem parts. So this is the primary focus of yesterday's lesson and today's lesson. And what I told the kids, and what's the most important is, yes, the answer is important. Don't get me wrong. The answer is very important. However, they have to write an equation using algebra to show me how they got or how they can get to the answer. That's the standard that they need to know how to do. So here's a situation. There were 209 books at a book fair at the end of the day. If the fair sold 436 books throughout the day, how many books did the book fair start with? Well, having read this situation, reading this story problem with the kids, all the kids in my class will be able to tell you that you're going to have to do 436 plus 209 to figure out how much the book fair started with at the beginning of the day. So this is how you write it as an equation. So what I would do is go 436 plus 209 equals, and then I would use B for books at the beginning of the day. It's literally that simple. It's just, okay, they naturally are going to do this anyway, but they write it out as an equation to help with algebra that shows me what they're going to do. That's all they have to do. And then, of course, do it and find B. So 436, 209. Let's add this up real quick. We got 15, carry, 4, 6. So 645. So, alright, 645 equals B. This part right here is the algebraic equation, and then this right here down here is called the solution equation. Obviously it shows the solution. So, alright, so now with multiplication and division, this is what we were doing today. So if Mr. R's fourth graders read for 20 minutes every night for homework, if Mr. R has 25 fourth graders in his class, how many minutes does his class read every night? So once again, they know that it's a group of 20 minutes. There's 25 groups of that, so we're going to be doing 25 times 20 to get to our answer to solve this question. So once again, just write it as an equation. So I would do 25 times 20 will give me minutes. This is the key thing I need to see from them. And then, of course, I need them to solve it. And so I would just do 25 times 20. And then just that 0 is just going to go down below. And then 25 times 2 is 50. So 500. So every night my students read as a total of 500 minutes. So once again, this is my solution equation along with my procedure equation of how I would proceed this story problem or to solve the story problem. Writing them as an equation using algebra is essential for this chapter. They need to know how to do that. And I just always ask the kids, oh, okay, well, how are you going to solve this problem? What's your steps? What's your plan? And most of the time they can tell you what their plan is. And so then you just got to remind them or tell them, okay, write that as an equation. After doing this for a couple of days, the kids are definitely getting more used to it. It's definitely a little bit different, a little bit new than what they're used to. But over time, they definitely are understanding it a lot better.